Alright, it says ripped off of the ninja costume and was found in guard's Hakama. Alright. When was this button found? Pretty soon after the body was found, we rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Kurita. And then we did a search of them all. That's when we found the button.
So it was almost immediately after the murder.
The police didn't have to free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people. Hey, what is he trying to say about me here? Alright, it says the fingerprints were all over the knife. How are the fingerprints arranged on the knife? Oh, what do you mean, pal? By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand? Oh, is that what you meant? Well, we didn't actually think of that. I can't believe the bumbling of this department.
Hopeless. Are you paying attention to the testimony, right? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There's no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder. So is the defendant the owner of this knife, then?
The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder. How the hell does he know that? There's no way this was a premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife. Sorry, pal. This isn't just some pocket knife. It's not really useful for anything, and you can't just walk around with it either. Well, this is not good. If the prosecution can prove that it was a premeditated murder, we're done for. Phoenix, yes? There's something very interesting about what the detective said just now. Think carefully before it's too late. A button covered in the victim's blood, and a knife with on-guard's fingerprints. Be grateful. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing. We're still in a world of trouble. Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness, so let's find the weakness in this testimony. Alright, it's gotta be the last point, but what is it? Alright, how can I have to present something and object. The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes it a premeditated murder, right? In the grip, Gatewater is engraved. Wait a minute. This is the first time I'm reading this. That actually means that it's not, he didn't buy the knife, it's a Gatewater knife. I gotta present the knife. Well, wait a minute. Whoa. Okay. Present the knife. Wait a second. What? So the basis of your argument that this was a premeditated murder is simply that my client bought a knife beforehand? That's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife. Aha! Huh? Take a good look at the handle of the knife and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Huh? It has a Gatewater seal set into the handle.
Gatewater? I think I've heard that name somewhere before. It's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel. Oh. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated. Rubble, 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 rubble.
That's some nice silverware rubble. Yes, that is very true. This is a very big... What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What?
I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined.
How so?
I admit this knife is hotel property. There's no one currently on the police force that's dumb enough not to realize this.
But I didn't... Oh. The question is, where did this knife come from?
Well, why is it? That's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Kurita's room.
Sorry, Your Honor, but that's incorrect. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table.
There's a knife and a fork on the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from? If it pleases the court, I'd like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Maton Guard. Especially what was on top of his table. There's something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife? We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Maton Guard's knife was missing. Mr. Engard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder. Rubble, 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 rubble. Marvelous. Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction. Happy holidays.
It seems like Edgeworth has this plan from the very beginning. It's supposed to be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it.
A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. There's quite a sizable amount of evidence here.
I can safely say that further deliberation is a waste of Your Honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown? He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence.
Well, what does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright?
Oh, well, Phoenix, judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here, the gavel says will be ringing out to the sound of our defeat. Ugh.
Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to this court?
Shit. I mean, I'm thinking I must. But what the fuck is it gonna be? Could it be the wine glass? Huh. Wouldn't be the suicide or attempted suicide report, would it? Huh. Let me save. Alright, let me think about this again. We have to think about this. Everything has been presented. Guitar case was presented. The knife was presented. The button was presented. The suicide reports at this point have nothing to do with it. I think it's the wine glass. It's the one factor we haven't factored in here yet. It's not the hotel guide map. I don't think it would be... Nope, it's not the camera. I'm thinking it's the wine glass. I can't think of anything else. I'm trying to reason in my head. What other evidence is there, you know? It's gotta be the wine glass. Let's take a look at everything here. Time of death was 8:15. Strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. Alright. You already did this. Was ripped from his costume, was covered in Karita's blood, found on guards for common. That's nothing new. Oh, shit. There's some water, but only on the top of the lid. Bears Karita's fingerprints. Found next to the victim. It's filled with tomato juice. No sign it's been drank. Wait a minute. Here's what I'm thinking. Now, this is far out there. I still think it's the wine glass, but here's my reasoning, and it could be completely wrong, because I've been wrong before. Look at the bottle of tomato juice. It's full. Yet the glass is full and hasn't been drank. Where the hell did the glass of tomato juice come from if it didn't come out of that bottle? Almost like it's planted. I'm gonna use this. There's one. One piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has not yet to see.
Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I'm giving you one chance, and only one.
What the judge is saying, right? Just don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here. If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us.
You may now present one and only one piece of evidence. Now then, what is this important evidence you must show to the court?
I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with the wine glass. It's gotta be the wine glass.
This is a wine glass, is it not?
Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken, and his makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser.
Well, yes, I see your point.
However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over along with everything else is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration.
Oh.
Well, what do you all have to say?
Oh, well, yes, it is a little peculiar.
Yes, isn't it? I thought it was.
You could stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Mr. Edgeworth?
What is it, Your Honor?
Your opinion?
You don't need my opinion.
Because there is no special meaning to that glass.
What?
It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking. That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright.
Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? I'm gonna say there's no way. And the reason I'm gonna say that, alright, is because I believe, now I'm not 100%, but I believe when we were looking at the rooms, that in Mr. Engarde's room, both glasses were present. That glass is actually from Karita's room. And therefore, she couldn't have brought it in. That's what I'm thinking.